Back to work time. I'm in Orangeville. I think I'm picking up that stuff over there, the wheel loader and the dolly wheels you see behind it, like a Jeep. I don't know what that is, like just an axle with a fifth wheel. So a couple of days ago I went to the Volvo dealer, right, in Burlington, trying to install that new fitting, and they said it was the wrong one and they didn't have the parts that I needed. I wanted to replace the fuel filter, right? And so they charged me 1 hour labor, and I left a message about this on Facebook. It was just, kind of like a scam. The guy didn't do anything, just did a visual inspection of the priming pump anyway. And then they're so technologically advanced. The name's Sheehan Volvo, Burlington, Ontario. And they're so advanced that you get an email each time, when you give them the truck checked in. They send you automatic email, right? And when the work was done, I got an email saying that your truck has been picked up. Yeah, I know, I picked up myself, but you guys didn't do anything. But there was an option there, reply with comments, like if you have any, a problem with the repair. And I did that. Captain SERGEI working hard today in very dangerous environment. Signs everywhere. Stay clear. What the? Okay, the boots are on. Come on, guys. Give me a break. So I got a wheel loader and some weird dolly. Yeah, it's not too tall, so I'm just gonna go position 3. Alright, so I got 5 chains on the loader, but the loader is only like 35,000 pounds. It's very small. What is this? Komatsu. I see on this side it's good. So yeah, 4 chains on the body, 1 chain on the bucket. But then this thing, you should have seen how we were loading this. It was really exciting because these wheels turn. See, even now they're turned. But they're not going anywhere because I got 4 chains on this stuff, and I was adjusting the chains. I was adjusting by tightening the chain. I was able to move this because it was a little bit like this way, so I put the chain over there. I was able to tighten this, but that's what these are for, right? These they call them bolsters. That's why you put graders, like the front axle of a grader. And I did this. See, comes in handy, these things. Otherwise, I wouldn't have anything to hook up the chain in the back to. Of course, this one, but then it's kind of like weird. It's a very long frame, right? So I got 4, like the loader required 5 chains, and this thing required 5 chains. You know, that's why I'm saying that working hard, you know, it's not that easy. 10 chains, it's not exactly a load and go. And I put a timber underneath in there, and this guy actually pushed this. He hooked up, he didn't have a bucket before, he just hooked up that chain over there, and he was took us, I don't know, maybe 20 tries, because the wheels were turning, because they're hydraulic and you cannot stop the steering. And we block this in the middle so it doesn't articulate, right? The D-ring moved on that side. Okay, let's do a quick chain check, my first stop. But before I do that, I wanted to show you the new shiny fitting in there. That's the bottom one that was broken, and I did feel the difference today. I still primed the system, but right off the bat it was pretty stiff. You know, I was only able to do a few movements with the pump, and the truck drove very nice, empty. Oh, see, just moved, I don't know, half a kilometer, quarter of a mile, and something already shifted. Always a good idea to check. I'm especially wary about this thing over here, because the last thing I want is, well, it cannot go anywhere. Where can it go? It cannot go back, it cannot go forward, it cannot go sideways. Stay. Yeah, this is a bit crooked, but it happened when I was moving this thing. All right, the timber is there, things cool. Yeah, but what I wanted to mention is that that guy yesterday from the Volvo dealer, Sheehan, we started talking about, you know, this air problem, and of course he's a, you know, he's a shop supervisor, so he knows these things, and the first thing he says is injector cups, you know. And I said, how much does it cost to fix that? He says one injector is 11 hours labor and the part is brand new, is $1,000. And I said, well, first of all, so it's 6 injectors, right? So if I replace all of them, it's what, $6,000? That's Canadian, but still, $6,000 for the part. I said, it's a used truck, right? So why do I need a brand new part? I can just buy a reman that half the cost, right? Like, or a quarter of the cost. And he says, I don't recommend it. Well, of course you don't, because the brand new one is $1,000, right? And he says, you don't need to change all of them, because usually they're not leaking all at once. So basically you change one, and so, you know, 11 hours, and these guys charge $150 an hour Canadian, and $1,000. So, you know, you do the math. And I said, why are you guys always looking at the most expensive solution? Sorry. Thanks. I said, why are you always looking for the most expensive solution where you have to spend $20,000? Oh, it's because, you know, we deal with these problems all the time. He says Volvo and Mack, they have a bad design of injectors, and that's what happens. He says the injectors start getting loose, and that's how you get air in the top. And I said, okay, so what's the symptom when you have like really injector problem? He says the truck doesn't start, or it starts and shuts down right away. And I said, wait a second. That's not me, right? The truck starts, okay, instead of 1 spin, the starter does 5, like normal. Most trucks do that. Oh, well, usually that's how it starts. He says the problem starts like this, and then it gets worse and worse, and sooner you will feel the loss of power, and exactly like he says, loss of power. That's what injectors cause, right? And then you cannot drive anymore. I said, no, I don't believe it's that's the reason. And so finally yesterday, right, after I delivered that flatbed trailer with 4 cool 10 metric ton counterweight, so 40 metric tons was on the trailer, and the truck pulled so great. But of course I still, you know, primed it because I still had that leaking fitting. And on the way back, I stopped in London, Ontario. There's the same place where I bought the fitting 2 days prior. And then the Volvo told me they were the wrong ones, and actually it turned out they were the right ones. And so the guys installed that fitting, and I did notice the difference today right away. Like I mentioned, like pumping was felt hard, and the truck drove like very nice. And so, but I'm just saying that kind of like funny that all these shops, you know, they all in the business of making money, right? They don't care about your truck. They're not there to fix your problem. They're just there to make money. So if they can at the same time solve your problem while you, let's say, replace injectors where all you have is a leaking. Wait a second, sorry about this. These people, like, this guy sees me signaling, right? I made a mistake. Okay, I thought it was the next intersection. The first guy passed me, then the second guy passed me, and they see my signal, they don't care. So yeah, you always have to be wary about shops. And so the first solution they suggest is for them to make money. Because, oh yeah, and another thing happened yesterday. When I was backing with that flatbed trailer, and I had to go on a soft ground, and I asked the guy, I said, is that ground okay? The guy says, yeah, we're gonna park our 300-ton crane in there, so that's good. And I go there, and I forgot that my mud flaps on the truck were pretty low. Well, not were, they are pretty low. They always touch the ground when I drop the suspension. And so the truck, because of so much weight, the truck went down because of that soft ground. And when I started backing, I heard some noise. And then I looked, basically, the mud flap got caught under the wheel.
and not just the mud flap went off, but the entire hanger. Like, I don't know what kind of 25th century bolts were on that mud flap, but the mud flap pulled the entire hanger with it and broke the spring where it's connected to the frame. So you know, no serious damage, just I lost the hanger, I lost the mud flap. And so when I went back to London there, I said, guys, I need you to install this fitting. And I also said, I want you to remove the second hanger, and we're gonna do something crazy. I just wanna add short mud flaps at the bottom of my minimizer fenders so that they're legal, because they have to, my minimizer fenders are like 1 foot above the road. So all I had to do was add reflective tape, right? Because by law you must have reflective tape on the back of your truck, and right now that tape was on the hangers. And so I just added tape on my minimizer fenders in there, and we're legal. And now I think in the rain there'll be much less spray, because that factory mud flap acted as a big deflector. And you know, when I see in the mirror, there was water like shooting straight up. It was coming from under the minimizer fender, then hitting at 90-degree angle, or maybe like 45, the factory mud flap, and just shooting straight up, and all the dirt and water was still going on the gooseneck and the load, you know. I wanted to do this for a long time. So it looks a bit crude because they were in a rush and they put some crazy bolts in there, but it works. So it's a much more simplified design. No more hangers, just minimizer fenders, that's it. Anyway, so I'm heading back toward Cambridge, and I picked this up in Orangeville, Ontario. So I'm heading back towards, as if I'm going home, and then I'm jumping on 401. And these guys, you know, the road construction company, they're doing something in Oil Springs, Ontario, just south of Sarnia. It's about 2.5 hours from here, 265 kilometers, 150 miles roughly. So nice, I like this, you know, not when you like go 20 miles and then you have to unload again, right? At least, okay, I worked hour, I don't know, we were loading probably for half an hour, like going on and off with that thing. And then it took about an hour to secure everything properly. I'm gonna keep an eye on that wheel in the back. And then I stopped for coffee, and now it's probably gonna take me 3 hours because it's these 2-lane roads. And then after that, I think that's it. I'm going home. And we charge them by the hour. So that's what Admiral SERGEI is doing today. Yeah, I think it's time I promoted myself. Captain was my late dad. All his life he was captain, because he liked to argue with his bosses in the army, you know. All his friends were majors, you know, colonels. This guy was still a captain. I cannot, you know, not speak the truth, basically. He had to speak the truth all the time, you know, and nobody likes that, right? Like when you basically always argue with your superiors. And so when he retired, when he left the army, he was just captain. And in the Russian army in those days, of course, the higher your rank is, the higher your salary is, and the more money you get when you retire as a pension. Right? So basically you argue, you lose. So guys and girls, don't argue with your superiors, you know. It can be detrimental to your bottom line. All I'm saying. So well, I'm in Woodstock at TA, getting some fuel. Pretty good price today, 97 cents Canadian. and I see something strange. Like, there are not that many orange parts on the truck, right? And I see that thing over there. And I have no idea what that is. And it turns. What is this? See? Something, some kind of a tool with a magnet, you know, and it turns like this. There's a bunch of connectors in here, you know. I think the guys that were working yesterday on my truck, the guy was oh wait, it's probably a light. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. That's what it is. The guy was working, he was installing that fitting, and you see it's very cool. You can put it like this, right? What, this is not steel? Huh, funny. See? That's not even steel. Interesting. So the guy put it like that, and he left it there. So now, you know, Captain Sergei has some industrial strength flashlight. I think it's probably even rechargeable. You can probably plug it in. You know, that would be cool. I like rechargeable stuff. Mechanics, you know. And in Canada, 99.9% of truck stops are set up for fueling one side at a time only. No, like in the US, you can put both hoses on automatic, right? But in Canada, basically, the message is not so fast. I got some water. Well, I like summers that you don't have to buy windshield washer fluid. You can just put water in your tank over there. All right. I think we're done. Jesus, 500 liters. 491 Canadian dollars. But I need fuel, right? So from here, 136 kilometers. Which is about 85 miles. Okay, what do we have here? Earl Paddock. Whopper with 2-axle 35-ton super light trailer. Okay, and why we are rolling is that they're gonna be a hill. over here.
In 200 meters, take the alternative on West Rim to Pothole.
Now I want to show you how the truck sounds now. It sounds much stronger. I may be crazy to think that
On West Rim.
one small fitting can make such a difference. But I got a light load now, so the loader is about 36,000 pounds, the wheel loader, and that axle is probably around 25, I don't know. No, maybe 15, I don't know. Usually when I'm with a full load, I can never reach that top in top gear. Like I would change upshift now. This is 8 low, and then at that green sign I have enough speed to go to 8 high, but I always have to downshift again on top of that hill. So let's see what happens now, because it looks small, but you can feel it. No, perfect. See, 1400 RPM, holding steady. Yep, I'm telling you, like the truck feels stronger. Now, another funny thing happened yesterday. In my parking yard, a brand, almost like new, like maybe 1 year old Freightliner Cascadia. Female driver. She came in our parking lot. You probably saw in my previous videos. There's lots of potholes in there, and some of them are pretty big, you know. And so this lady had on her Cascadia, she had this fancy bumper, which is like maybe this high above the ground. I kid you not, maybe 4 inches, you know, and plus it has a rubber at the bottom. And so her job was to back a drive-in trailer towards the edge of the lot and drop it. And I was checking, I was sitting in my truck, like not like close by, I could see her. And I was doing something on my phone, and then I hear like a scratching sound, like something breaks. I raise my head and I see that the right side of her bumper is on the ground. So what happened was there was a big pothole in there under her right wheel, and when she went into it, the front, like the pothole was more than 4 inches, more than the space between the bumper and the dirt, right? It was like almost a foot, you know, very big hole. And so the front part of her bumper just got torn away from the frame. Like the left side is there, the front part is... It's like these trucks are so, you know, helpless. As soon as you get off the pavement. So a friend of mine, he's a big fan of these fancy Cascadias, and he's pulling a step deck and flatbed. And I said, if you ever buy a Freightliner, you know, and occasionally you go to construction sites, you know, like rough roads, right? Make sure you don't buy this crazy low bump, you know, just no good. No good for flatbed, step deck. It's okay for a drive-in, but even then, you see, like the lady went off into the parking lot, and I don't know how much. These bumpers are very expensive because they're very big, right? Very wide. I'm guessing $1,000, you know, because the bumper actually, she didn't break the bumper, but she broke all the clips there, whatever, like how the bumper is secured to the chassis, you know. And then she had to leave, so I said, you need any bungee cords? Because it's pretty light. I said, you can probably put some bungee cords in there. At least this way you can drive. And she said, no, I got some. I said, okay, so you're good, right? All right. So I'm just trying to help. But so she found some bungee cord, and managed to drop the trailer, but I saw she stayed there overnight, probably waiting for some repair truck or something.